Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's news: Whangamoa's catch a trailer, house fire prompts community giving, earthquake awareness, how prepared are we? Ironically, the Whangamoas have been used for a road safety campaign on the Nelson Tasman Police Facebook page. Yet in the past few weeks there's been a spate of accidents on that road, with the latest on Wednesday morning this week. Traffic was reduced to one lane after a trailer had become stuck on the roadside barrier. Police are seeking information from the public to locate Jordan Ian Nelson. There is a warrant out for his arrest for breaching the conditions of his supervision. If you have seen him or have information about his whereabouts, please call Nelson Police. Scientists have discovered that New Zealand could experience a megathrust quake any time after discovering through geological evidence that an area off the coast of Wairarapa and fringing Cook Strait can cause megathrust quakes. These can also trigger tsunamis. The cause of this thrust is a subduction taking place when the Pacific Plate is sliding under the Australian Plate and is part of what is called the Pacific Ring of Fire. Researchers have highlighted the active threat the southern Hokianga margin poses to life and the local economy, from Hawke's Bay south to the Wairarapa, Wellington and our Marlborough neighbour. Research also now suggests that the Alpine Fault extending further below that plate boundary will generate a magnitude 8 earthquake when it ruptures within the next 50 to 100 years. So what does this mean for our Nelson Tasman region, and are we prepared? I spoke to Civil Defence Manager Roger Ball this week to find out what we can expect and how to be prepared in a big quake event scenario. Roger, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us today about civil defence. Can you please just outline quickly, what is civil defence's role in an emergency?
Well, our goal overall is to improve the resilience of our community. So we do that across business as usual basis, but at the time of an event, our job is to respond to the needs of the community. Now, the emergency services do that, of course, on a 111 basis, and we're not looking to get in the road of any of those. In fact, our job is to support them. But in a big event, such as a large regional flood or a large earthquake, Civil Defence becomes the lead agency, and it's a coordination and a management function at that level from our Emergency Operations Centre, which is in Richmond.
The roof's not going to open and Thunderbirds aren't coming out the top, that's what you're saying to us?
No, not at all. In fact, there is no secret army in the cupboard. If there is a secret army in the cupboard, it's the volunteers that we've got in some of our communities around the region, places St Arnaud, Murchison, Golden Bay, Tapawera, various other places have their community response plans. Yeah. Here in town, we rely on existing organisations like Neighbourhood Support, Community Patrol and various other organisations to assist us. So our job, when my team works from the Emergency Operations Centre in town, is really to help with the coordination and the management of those existing networks.
Great. And with all the small shakes going on, have you got any advice just to remind people what to do in this kind of situation?
Yeah, so we've had a few wake-up calls lately and some very large earthquakes around our region. Look, the first thing I would say is to remind people, drop cover and hold. You know, we had a 6.2 here in the Nelson region a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people did not get under their tables they should have. The other thing I would say is don't run outside immediately. After you've dropped, covered and held, wait for the earthquake to finish and then assess the situation. Unless it's unsafe to be in the building, you are safer to stay put. Do not evacuate straight away.
Sure, and the reason for that, like for example Trafalgar Street?
Yeah, so I was on Trafalgar Street at the time in a building. We remained in place and I looked out the window and I could see people running out onto the street. And the experience that we know from Canterbury and other earthquake events is that that puts people potentially at risk. Unless you're unsafe in the building that you're in, you're better off to stay put. If you run outside, you're at risk of things falling on you.
Sure, yeah, it's a good thing to remember. What should people have prepared in case of a civil emergency?
Well, everybody should know, I think, about the importance of a 3-day kit minimum. Food, water, something for your pets, backup source of heating, cooking, but we also recommend that a couple of other things to think about. First of all, a plan. If you're at work and the kids are at school and somebody else is in another part of town, how are you going to reunite, get back together again and communicate if the power and the communications go down? And the other plug I'll put in is really for businesses, especially small businesses. You do need to think about the safety of your staff because these events will often happen during the working day, and you need to be able to look after your people and your customers.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. That's really good advice. With the new information on this Alpine fault subduction mega thrust that's come from America, are there any new preparations or any different kind of advice you might have for people in such a major event?
Look, I haven't seen the detail of that report, but from what I've gathered about it, I think it's going to reinforce very much the message that we put out now. If we got an earthquake event from that source, from the Hikurangi Trench, it would be very close by and potentially very strong. So what we say to people is that if you feel a very strong earthquake or a very long earthquake, and by that I mean something that is hard to stand up in or goes on for a minute or more, so a major one, and if you're near the coast, you need to move away from the coastline as quickly as possible, because an earthquake of that kind could potentially bring a tsunami and there will not be a chance of official warning. So our risk there is something off the Cook Strait or out of the out of the Taranaki Basin, and very little chance of an official warning. You need to move away from the coastline. But you know, most earthquakes don't generate tsunamis, but if you're near the coastline and there's a big one, you've got to move.
Roger, thanks very much on behalf of the community. You know, it's a strange thing to say, but I hope we never have to see you.
Look, we turn up to all sorts of events around the region with a smile on our face, and we're happy to do it. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Thanks very much, Graham.
In a modern boys' own scientific adventure, Joshua Richards, a 17-year-old student at Collingwood Area School in Golden Bay, has been the only New Zealand resident selected by the Royal Society of New Zealand to attend the Dr. Bessie F. Lawrence International Summer Science Institute program in Israel. This fully funded opportunity, paid for by the Ray Friedman Trust, includes all of Joshua's expenses plus a little spending money. Joshua will be away for 4 weeks in July, working alongside scientists and around 80 other highly talented senior secondary students from all over the world to experience the challenges and rewards of scientific research. During this month-long program, the work will combine the exploration of problems in the fields of biology, chemistry, physics, mathematical and computer science, and instruction on sophisticated laboratory equipment, advanced computers, a particle accelerator, and lasers. A well-respected Ruby Bay family found themselves out in the cold after a house fire in Stafford Drive on Tuesday afternoon. There was no one home at the newly renovated house at the time the fire was first spotted by a passerby who called the emergency services. The fire, which is believed to have begun in the kitchen, had quickly moved into the ceiling cavity, leaving firefighters tackling the fire by pulling off the roofing iron from the top of the roof. By the time the fire had been extinguished, the house had sustained severe fire damage in the family living and dining areas. The family have been receiving community support with various offers of accommodation, while Mapua School has become the drop-off point for household goods, food and other donated items for the house owners Marv and Jenny and their young son. Fire investigators were at the scene again early on Wednesday morning. There has been a great response by Nelson Tasman residents to the Trustpower Nelson Tasman Community Awards, with 87 voluntary and community groups nominated for this year's Community Awards. The Community Awards are a way to recognise and reward volunteer groups for the outstanding contribution they make to our local communities. The award categories are Heritage and Environment, Health and Wellbeing, Arts and Culture, Sport and Leisure, and Education and Child Youth Development. Each category winner will receive $500 and $250 for the runners-up. The Supreme Prize winner will take home $1,500, a trophy, framed certificate, and a chance to take out the Trustpower National Community Awards, which will be held in Dunedin region in March next year. The entries for the Trustpower Nelson Tasman Community Awards results will be announced at a function in the Nelson Tasman area on Monday the 29th of June. And finally, on the subject of volunteers within our community, while most people are heading home for the weekend, the group Friends of the Maitai are quietly beautifying the banks of the Maitai River. I caught up with organiser Amy Kennedy to tell us more about what this volunteer group are doing. Amy, you've been having the Friends of the Maitai running now for nearly 2 years. How's it been going and what's your plans for the future?
Yes, 2 years. It's a bit hard to believe really, but it's very exciting. We've been doing lots of plant care over the last few months. Last year, around winter last year, we planted plants here at Wahitakaro Golf Course and also up at the Groom Creek. And over the year we've been looking after those plants through plant care sessions, and that's what we're doing tonight.
And how many members do you have all together?
So on our email list we have 160, and we have a core group of probably about 20 that regularly meet and work on various aspects of Friends of the Maitai, whether that's monitoring, forestry liaison and working group, or whether it's plant care. So those are the three main groups that are running. We also have a communications department as well, and a website. So yeah, so we've been really busy over the last 2 years developing it and working with council and collaborating with their friends, Project Mahitahi, Maitai, and so that's been a huge success as well.
That's fantastic, and for 2 years to get up and running like that, it's a really good achievement. You do these plantings, and you talk about plant care. Do you actually care for plants that you find along the Maitai already, they're well established?
You mean the ones that have actually been here prior to our plantings? Yes, it's a whole river catchment care view of what we do. And we're learning as we go. I've talked to Weedbusters, some of the people from Weedbusters, about their procedure around old man's beard, which is a big problem up the valley, and how best to deal with that. And so some of the larger established trees in this area, we did have to clear some old man's beard away. And I think I did it wrong, but I've now learnt the right way. And that's what this group's about as well, is learning together, sharing our skills and experience, and having time together, along the riverbank. Yeah.
Amy, on behalf of the community, thanks very much for looking after the Maitai and keep up all the good work.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Alison, you're doing a great job here. I'm just wondering, what brings you down here on a chilly Friday evening just before the weekend? Everyone else is going home.
Well, it's a great way to end the week or start the weekend. If you're working, then you let your cares go. I'm sitting here right beside the river. It's wonderful. This is a great environment, and I'm meeting up with some really lovely like-minded people, and look what I'm pulling out. Great clumps of weed and old man's beard, and just helping these trees to grow.
Fantastic. I mean, growing they are. I mean, have you been here from the start with the Friends of the Maitai?
I didn't actually plant these, but I am part of Friends of the Maitai. I was away at that time, but I've been up here 2 or 3 times, and it's just lovely out here in the evening. We were out in the dark last time. We didn't leave early. We stayed longer than an hour. It was good fun.
So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Nelson City Council's consultation process involves getting feedback by those living in the communities that are being affected by council decisions relating to spending on community facilities. One consultation process has been on the proposed Stoke Community Centre. I went out to ask people in the area if they were stoked about the consultation process. How do you feel about the proposed Stoke Community Centre and the consultation that Council's doing?
Oh, I think it should be great for the community. We certainly need something here. I think that Stoke is lacking in good facilities for, for that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's going to take a while, I think.
I think it's good. I think it's good for Stoke. Stoke needs some more stuff, especially for like the younger ones as well, because it is a lot of older place, but there is young ones in there as well.
Very happy actually, because I think we need it.
They're excellent, I think, and they're doing a good job of the consultation, and it's going to look good when it's completed.
The break will bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Welcome me hearties to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach walk or swim. Phone 5464 084.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
We're the team at Jaycar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
Jaycar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Support our regional young entrepreneurs when they pitch their business ideas to a panel of judges at the Lion Foundation Young Enterprise Schemes Dragon's Den on this Thursday, 21st of May, starting at 4:30 at the Theatre Royale. Everyone's welcome and there's a gold coin donation. Changing Threads Contemporary Fibre Art at the Refinery Art Space, running from the 15th of May through to the 6th of June. Arts Council Nelson is stretching the boundaries of work normally not associated with fibre and textiles and showcasing some of New Zealand's finest contemporary practitioners. Please contact for dates and times. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Rats, stoats and possums are killing our native birds and reptiles. You can stop this tragedy.
The Brook Waimarama Sanctuary is building a pest-proof fence which will allow native wildlife to flourish and spread into our lives.
Help us preserve our native wildlife.
Your support is needed now. You can personally or as a group sponsor a fence post for as little as $100, including the legacy of a personalised plaque.
Go to thebrooksanctuary.org or give us a call.
And be part of this exciting community project.
The Brook Waimarama Sanctuary, returning nature to the Nelson region.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an Autoglass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
.1 The Shed.
Little things you do, the way that you smile, maybe me and you, perhaps in a while. If you wanted to, then we can do what lovers do. Every time you're near, this feeling inside, baby, it's so clear, can't be denied. I just want you here, so we can do what lovers do. Lovers walk in the park, kiss in the dark, they're hardly ever apart. We do what lovers do. Lovers talk on the phone, they smooch and then run, won't leave each other alone. We do what lovers do, just me and you. Everywhere you turn, my love will be there. Should you feel concerned, my comfort is here. No, I wanna learn, so we can do what lovers do. Means the world to me, if this love is true. Now the heart's set free, and starting anew. If we both agree, we can do what lovers do. Lovers sharing their lives, no need to disguise the look of love in their eyes. We do what lovers do. Lovers greet the new day in a lover's cafe. Love and live in this way. We do what lovers do, just me and you. Other people say, you know love is blind, and I hope and pray we will both find there will come a day when we can do what lovers do. We can do what lovers do. We can do what lovers do. Little things you do, the way that you smile, maybe me and you, perhaps in a while. If you wanted to, we could do what lovers do. We could do what lovers do. We could do what lovers do.
Don't know much, and I don't plan to. I fell in love when you walked into my view. The things we say aren't always the same as the things we do. I found the gold, I found the gold. Could it be?
Was it cold today? lovesick chill. Amber gold, I am sold on you. So you paint the skies with fire in your eyes. Every day I am mesmerized by your smile. You and I, we're gonna fly so very high. Surf the sky, we'll surf the sky. Surf the sky, surf the sky. So you paint the skies, fire in your eyes. Every day I am mesmerized by your smile. You and I will fly so very high. Surf the sky, surf the sky. 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 Surf the sky.
We're the team at Jaycar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power.
Electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. Jaycar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour. We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time. Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Well, the way Freeview is set up is that people should try and receive UHF Freeview first. Satellite should really only be a fallback option if you live in a country or out in the country, or you live in an area that's maybe shielded from the transmitter. If you go terrestrial, you've got the advantage that you get the mainland channels as well. So that's plus, there's an extra 8 channels there, plus 2 radio channels. So.
If you need help tuning into the digital TV channels, please give us a call. Nelson TV and Video Services, 41 Halifax Street, Millers Acre Car Park.